to Rock Hill, day 2 of the Hincapie Championship weekend. We've got some Team Winston-Salem guys here. Big week for me. This is the cap off to a 29-hour week on the bike. My legs are feeling it. We did 3 hours before this on the roads of Rock Hill, South Carolina. Anyway, we're tired, but yesterday we had a good showing, so hoping to do the same today. Less wind, so we'll see how that plays out. Starting off, we had a few little attacks here. Nothing too serious, but we were, looking out for anything that was going to go, just in case. Got Santiago there on the right, Team Winston guy. I am right behind Jonas Walton. Project Echelon in the last race, but in this race he's racing for his collegiate team, Belmont Abbey. So he's got a few teammates here today, and that's probably going to change how the race pans out. I'm right behind Bryce here. There's a little bit of a road on the grass, but we're 5 minutes in, and I decide it's time to send a bomb, see if anybody wants to play today. And we're on the uphill, right into the U-turn here. I'm going pretty quick, I think. 25, 26 into this U-turn, and I cut in a little early, so I had to let off and adjust the line. Brendan Fury, Monk, former teammate on Echelon, former Miami Blazer, right behind me, gave a little giggle. We talked later. He asked if I had forgot to corner, which I had, and got a little reminder. On the left, we have Santiago sending another attack, and on the right, Joaquin from Above and Beyond Cancer, almost hitting that post. That was a little scary. I gave him a little, hey, what was that? But you can see Jonas on the left there, not really willing to follow that. I thought some of these breaks were going to go. Like, there's some strong guys up there. We're 45 minutes into the race. It comes back. Santiago attacks again. I almost get pushed into the same spot on the grass again. You'd think I'd learn. But the grass on this course is a fairly treaded place, so it's fine. It's pretty good shoulders. You can ride on them, except for the finish straight, where it gets a little muddy. But get to this U-turn, and it's strung out. There's no wind. It's pretty easy in the pack. Kind of figure out that the only way a break's going to go is if the field is willing to let it go. But we want to try our hand at that. My sprint is not great after 29 hours. I can do maybe 1,200 watts for a little bit, but I think at the end of this race I'm not going to be able to do that. So we have Caleb Landgrebe of former Work Hard, Be Humble up the road. I chase him down. I know he's pretty strong, so I didn't want that to go anywhere. But little moves like this we're going. Joaquin's up there. Some SCAD guys trying to get across. Everybody wants to be represented, but also not really willing to commit fully to a breakaway. The wind's low. It's easy in the pack. Super Squadra. These two guys ended up actually pulling back a lot of the gap this little breakaway formed. But again, we're early into the race. 15, 20 minutes into the race. We got Santiago and a SCAD guy making a little attempt across with a Belmont Abbey rider. Some guys still off the front there. Milligan, there's a lot of collegiate riders in this field, willing to race hard, maybe not wanting to do the sprint. I'm just kind of chilling as much as possible until I get bored. Fergus Arthur making it across to this little breakaway on the right. And yeah, it's one of those races. Just kind of waiting for something to go off the front. It's kind of hard, but easy to recover in the field. I send a little bomb across to this, thinking that Ferg and all the strong guys up there might be a little bit too much for my liking. So I'm gonna send a pretty long attack. I think I'm solo here still. Just trying to get up to that breakaway, and then the field catches. Francis attacks around me, and I can just sit up, sag back through the field. I think Jonas had actually done most of the pulling to get me back there. So one of our goals today is to kind of wear down Jonas, but I think today he was a little bit more tired than we were expecting him to be, because he wasn't as offensive as normal. Wasn't as aggressive, playing more on defense. Anyway, that break would come back. It would resplit again and again, but the fields would just easily go across. A little later here, we have Joaquin off the front of that last breakaway. 30 minutes to go. He kind of snuck off the front of that breakaway. I don't know if I noticed it at all. And there's these little 1s and 2s getting across. We had Santiago up there trying to chase it down. Him and his break partner ended up not chasing it down. He's talking to me right here, saying, "Is that guy strong off the front?" And I was like, "Is it Jonas?" He said, "No, it's a guy in green." I said, "I'll look." Like, I don't know who that is. To find out it was former Hot Tubes rider Joaquin. And I decided to send a little bomb to get across. This was an expensive one for me on the energy front. I looked back and had a pretty good gap. It's kind of weird on this course with no wind. I don't like racing it without wind. It makes it kind of a boring course, but here we are trying to chase this sucker back. It's going to take forever. Scad guy comes across. I think we may be part of the field right now, although they could be a little bit farther back from us. But yeah, it was like a full lap of being on the front. Eventually field catches, kind of goes around. Santiago's there. I do another attack with like 20 minutes to go. So like 5-10 minutes later on the uphill, just to see what we can do. You can see Joaquin's still off the front with a sizable gap, like 15-20 seconds. I think at one point he had 40 seconds, but now it's kind of on me. Like, I'm hoping Santiago's got a good sprint still. Field is on my wheel, and I'm just going to make it hard and pull him back, sacrifice everything. I'm on the front for a while here, which gives us a perfect spot to talk about sponsor, maybe sponsor of this video, Icefox. They just sent me a camera and wanted me to check it out. I threw it on Rebecca's bike the first day. You can see some footage here. This camera is a nice $69 on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description for this camera. If you're looking to get started out with these videos, get one. See if you like it. It's $69. Why not? Francis ends up telling me to save myself for the sprint, but there's 14 minutes to go, and I was just on the front for 10, so that was hard. There's little breaks that form again, trying to catch Joaquin. I really hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but you were strong. He was strong. He kept going. We were not pulling much of a break back. Every time the field would kind of swarm around me, kind of slingshot around me, then let up on the pace. So I kind of wanted to keep the pace steady. I wish I had 1 or 2 more guys up there kind of rolling easy with me, but these little moves, while they are fast and they kind of do hurt everybody in the field, we're not necessarily the best at keeping the speed consistent. You can see Joaquin's still off the front there with a 5-second lead, and he just kept on the pedals. So Santiago and I are back here. I'm kind of realizing that if one team doesn't actually make a concerted effort here with 5 minutes to go, he's going to stick it. So I'm going to do one last little push, let my guys have everything else. Francis hasn't done a ton of work today. Hopefully his legs aren't too toast from that 3-hour ride before. I'm going to give it a last little push into this 2 laps to go here. Joaquin does another little sprint over top just to see if we actually have what it takes. And yeah, I had to kick just to get onto his wheel there. Field kind of comes around. There's a good attack on the left here from Jonas. That's a scary one. That's a late one. We got 2 laps to go. If that sticks, we are all in trouble. Joaquin puts his hand up right here.
That's not good.
And I say, that's pretty dangerous. That's not good. Here we are coming through 1 lap to go. and that little brake got pulled back. Santiago actually did a little move across. Maybe we should have been a little more stingy with those efforts, but here we are into 1 lap to go, and up the hill, everything's kind of together. I'm just surfing wheels. My legs are trashed, but maybe I'll get lucky, have a nice slingshot. I'm like top 10 wheels, top 15 wheels here. Figuring I'm gonna have to go early, but at this point my legs are just starting to do the little twitching thing, and I know I'm not gonna have much come the finish. And yeah, not super committed to it. We got Santiago up there still. I wish I could have been up there to help him move up a little farther. If I was smart, I would have sent it right here around the left, but I wasn't smart, so I didn't. This Miller School guy hitting it pretty hard there. I start to move up a little bit, like 700-800 watts is pretty much all I've got. We go into the turn, and I just get checked by the Miller School guy. He's got plenty of room on the inside, but I think he decides he wants that outside line, and I don't really care enough. This guy came across my front wheel, almost wiped me out. I got a little scared, but it was okay. That's bike racing. I think I finished like 15. 2 DDP guys went first and second. They had been consistently not doing a lot of work, which was a good move. So good on them. Thanks for watching.